What is the one mistake that major influencers and brands make in their funnel that cost them thousands in sales and in quality leads? And it's as simple as having poor funnels or systems set up, or not having them at all, because they're constantly leaking cash and missing out on life-changing revenue that could be fixed with a simple solution. And this video will show you exactly how to fix your cash leaks and start seeing life-changing growth. But before we start, I'd like to point out that this is just one example, and each brand and their niche will have different approaches, and this is an overall framework because too many individuals have a good following, yet they don't seem to grasp the importance of this. So this is just a simple demonstration, and whilst it may look complicated, it's not, but that's why I'm here, because in reality it's simple. But if you want to get it set up faster and easier, see the link down below. So what is the goal with this funnel? Basically, you need a system that will make you your money for your service and product whilst you're offline. However, at the same time, we are making sure you generate leads in the right way, keeping them in the loop with your brand, be that content, communities, emails, making sure that they are always only a couple steps away from a larger conversion, keeping the Ferris wheel constantly spinning. So the key point here is that you need to have a good source of traffic and followers already, because you don't, then simply no one will enter this funnel. But if you do, then this is your perfect solution. Before we move on to the flow, as I already mentioned, this is just one way of doing it, and there are unlimited amount of combinations of this funnel that fit different goals and niches. But here is just one example. But before you jump into creating your funnel, you need to strongly consider who is the main target of this funnel. And you may say, my audience, or something like that. But that's still too broad. And you need to focus on a customer awareness level, because this will decide exactly what type of content to create to expose your audience to, or how to tease the audience, inform the audience, and get them to enter through the door of your business. And it also affects the overall selling direction you go with, because you can begin with selling a high ticket first, a low ticket first, but it all depends on who you are targeting. And as I said, there's so many variations, but that's beyond the scope of this video, and I will cover different types of funnels in a different video. So here is the first stage, which is the entry and the content. The entry and the content depends on the niche, the platform you spend most time on, and the audience awareness levels that you are targeting. And at this stage, we are focusing on driving traffic to a post in order for them to take the next step in the funnel. And the goal here is to present a clear and specific offer that offers them an easy entry, because we want to minimize as much thinking as possible for the lead, making this offer simply what I like to call a no-brainer, and something that gets them closer to their desired goal. Because you have to think of it as one of the bricks to the bridge that you are building to their desired position. And this is why it's essential that you understand your customer profile and their awareness level, because by doing so, you know what they seek, and you know you can provide it for them here with an easy and quick win, because ultimately our goal here is to get them to sign up with the opt-in page. So an example of a content sequence that could lead to an easy entry on a platform like Instagram, for example, would be to post a normal feed post with the goal to tease something coming, and then you supplement that with additional stories that show behind the scenes, for example, and just keep teasing with urgency, scarcity. And then we would create a reel to reveal the offer and what's coming to a wider audience, which would direct them to their main post where you would reveal the offer, and that would take them to the opt-in page. For example, what we often see as popular content for an easy entry are free tools and resources as lead magnets, giveaways, competitions, for example. But the one thing about giveaways and competitions is that you shouldn't be scared of giving things away, because the overall idea is that this will entice people, but you are going to make your money back and more with this funnel. But here is the biggest mistake most brands and influencers make, and everyone seems to fail to grasp this idea about competitions and giveaways, because as much as they are great lead collectors and can increase your sales, most people don't know how to do it correctly, because the way most brands do it leads to nothing, a couple shares, couple likes. And even then, these businesses don't do anything with the leads. People are literally lining themselves up with their friends and the brands and doing nothing about it. They close the door to them people before even trying to open it. Because tell me, does this sound familiar? So the standard procedure is for someone to like the post, share on their stories, for example, and comment, 3 friends, for example. And what is the goal here? I guess it is to generate leads, and especially to cut customer acquisition costs with referrals, which is great, obviously. But the big mistake is that these brands are not, one, storing this information, and building communities or email lists to push future offers, because these individuals, the friends and their friends, are here right now at the door of your brand and business, and they are interested in your idea. And you need to understand that people hang out with people with similar interests, and if they are sharing your post, then it is worth sharing in their inner circle. And so if the main salesman of the group is sharing it with their friends, then the friends will also be qualified at least 75%, and then it is as easy as opening a door for them. But most people don't. And mistake number 2 is that brands are not upselling and downselling to increase revenue. This is a key point with making more money with these funnels, because if you have a huge number of people suddenly coming into your service and they have a problem, you need to understand that the problem is almost always the most intense at its identification. So you have to ensure people are aware of your offers by upselling and downselling in the moment, because at that moment they are most ready to buy. And so the real problem just lies in brands being lazy and relying on the algorithm that will push them through to an audience. But they need to understand that more eyes does not mean more sales, because you already have people coming in and their inner circle, and this is your perfect opportunity to capture, engage, elevate and sell. However, you're relying on something unpredictable. So why don't you take this process into your own hands and guarantee yourself sales and leads for the future? It just makes sense. And then we have the opt-in and the nurture phase of the funnel. So people are entering your funnel, great. Now, where and what is happening here exactly? Well, they will be sent to what is essentially a lead magnet landing page, crafted with the sole direction of them signing up to an email list and collecting their details. And as you can see right here, this is the first email list. This will be everyone, and this email list will target all people who entered the funnel, people aware of their problem and the potential solution, giving them a quick overview, with the email list containing tips, guides and overall education about their problem. And within these emails you have to meet the customer where they are, clarify the problem and meet them there, and then educate them on the solution that is your product. However, there is also another nurturing sequence that can be effective to nurture your audience, and I'll explain it once here so we don't have to do it for the rest of the video. And I have done a video on this, so if you want to check it out, please do. There's a link down below, or there might be somewhere on the screen. But to briefly go over it, rather than setting up an email sequence, you can use group chats, for example Telegram, or any live communication channel, where the key idea is that they have a source of live communication, the allusion to an expert, where they can contact you instantly, see consistency, live social proof and intentional engagement, whilst in the same space that they can see your authority content, basically seeing the most important trust signals that someone would love to see from an online individual. So they opt in, give you their details, and from here you can, 1, craft an email nurturing sequence, and then eventually after a couple of days plug a mid-ticket sale. Or you can do what I believe is the best and redirect them straight to a sales page after they give us the details. And why? Because as I've said, at this point will be the point where they are most aware of their pain point. And as a result, after they sign up, they get redirected straight to a sales-orientated landing page that focuses on selling a mid-ticket offer. And why have I decided to show you a mid-ticket offer? Well, this is just an example, and I wanted to show you how it would work across all your possible tickets in the most simple way, demonstrating the mechanisms of upselling and downselling. So they're here, the landing page, mid-ticket product. A great idea that leads to higher conversions is to have a video sales letter, or a VSL to put it short, explaining and guiding them through this process and outlining what they can do now and the benefits of taking the next step, and essentially a quick overview of the landing page. For example, if you want them to achieve another sub goal that you have planned for this page. So here, for example, the main goal is to drive them towards that main sale of the mid-ticket, but a sub goal is to join a community. So we would highlight that in the video, where this community is further social proof and proof of your competence. Plus, if you lose them here and they join the community, it's not much of a loss. And we already have them on our email list and now your community, and they are fully locked in onto the Ferris wheel right now. And this is why this lead capture is critical, because you always have a chance to make money with these customers. So let's say they didn't buy your mid-ticket offer and they're still unsure about the whole thing. So what you want is to downsell. Here you want to demonstrate and show them how the lower ticket will get them to their desired goal and guide them through it, demonstrating that basically okay, I will help you no matter what type of vibe. But you need to implicitly say that it will be slower and you might not get there because you need my help type of thing to get to your desired goal. And you want to paint a picture of them using your high ticket product. But what if they continue to not buy the lower ticket product? The goal is to keep them in the loop at this point. And the beauty of this funnel is that you encourage them to join the community where they can see your authority and competence in the niche for free, which is the most important thing here. It's an easy entry point. And because you know their main problem, you can begin to help these individuals for free. And when the time is right, all it takes is another offer for them to convert. And the great thing here is that your community is clear evidence of the free trust signals. That is consistency, social proof, and consistent engagement, where if you do this right, a simple nudge will be all that it takes to convert them again. And from here, we can go into a community micro-educational funnel, but that's beyond the scope for this video and we'll cover that in another video. However, if they do buy, you go straight to upselling them the higher ticket because they've seen the mid-ticket and they've said no. They've seen all your offers, but now they can only be exposed to the higher offer. And the cool thing here is that you offered them the low barrier of entry by selling them the low ticket and they bought it. And so that's a very positive signal that they're eager for the results and you essentially have one foot in the door. And the goal here is to promote the idea that the higher ticket is a way of getting them to their goal faster and easier, essentially a motorway to their desired position because they have tasted it through the low ticket and now they can get there faster and easier. And so you can redirect them straight to the higher ticket page, or again, nurture them. But if you're choosing an email sequence, keep it maximum to 3 days because we want them to be still hot on the thought of their problem. And if you want to further qualify your leads before sending them to your high ticket sales page, in order to end up with high quality leads, for example, that have a higher chance of purchasing, you can do a short qualification form or a call to basically see where they're at the moment and if they are capable of achieving their results. But this is optional and more suited for services rather than just simple products. And from there, if they have purchased your high ticket, you have secured what you wanted, the conversion, and it's simple as onboarding them now. But if you haven't, and now they have seen all your offers, you send them to your community and you keep them in the loop with your emails and free community content that will nudge them over the line over time. But if they have simply purchased your mid-ticket, you can redirect them straight to the high-ticket landing page, like with others, or nurture them through an email sequence or a group, for example. And with a service, this means nurturing them through a qualification form or a call, because you don't want them to waste your time with bad quality leads. So you might want to take this 2-step qualification sequence, with one being a short 10-minute capability test through a call and the other being a longer discovery sales call that sees if the partnership is worth your time and effort and filtering out bad customer profiles. But if they don't purchase your high ticket, then you downsell them the low ticket. You give them something that they can have, a product or something to use in their own time, to fix their issues autonomously while still adding them to the community if they haven't already. And this product should be something that's easy to use and fixes one of their smaller problems that makes up the larger main problem. And the easier, simpler to fix the problem is with your product, with the lower ticket product, the more likely they will look for you again as further help, especially through your community where you will demonstrate your authority and competence within the niche. But you might be thinking, what about these email lists right here? And at each stage, your customer enters a new level of awareness. So these 3 lists allow you to segment the customers in accordance to their awareness level of your product and their problem. And through this, you give them exactly what they want and nudge them towards a purchasing decision. And it's as simple as that. For example, as mentioned, list number 1 is for everyone, making people aware of their problem and slowly educating them about the possible solution that is your product. However, email lists 2 and 3 here have more of a conversion focused goal, and you only get added to these if you have reached a certain stage of the funnel, and the email list will focus on providing content that focuses on that level of engagement and customer awareness. For example, the further the customer is, the more likely it will be focused on the final nudge towards the sale. And there you have it. This is just one example and one variation of an unlimited amount of funnels that you can make. Are you ready? Do you want to get there as soon as possible without worrying about all this garbage? Well, if so, check the links down below. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and comment on what else you would like to see. Have a good day.